your second stimulus package, the latest negotiations overnight about the continuing resolution budget bill, the CR, and in your stimulus check, the check amount, the routing times, and then that's those state stimulus checks, state stimulus relief, state stimulus rent, and utility stimulus and food stimulus. This morning, one county on the East Coast went live with a stimulus check. The proceeds of the offering were gone within just minutes, showing the incredible demand for stimulus across the country, even now in these final days of December. I thank you for joining us direct for Los Angeles. This is a big day, and let's get ready to rock and roll. Hashtag Senate vote no. Hashtag Senate vote no and hashtag House vote no. Last night, for the first time ever, LALATE was trending in the United States #1. Trending #1 with the hashtag Senate vote no as a result of a broadcast that originated on this channel in the afternoon on Afternoon to LALATE, where I said, go on social media and let's start this hashtag campaign, Senate vote no. I said, go on to Twitter and start the hashtag campaign, Senate vote no, originating with that broadcast. Send the message out loud and clear that a $600 stimulus check is an insult, a slap in the face. Using your words in a broadcast in which I asked you to explain your reaction to a $600 stimulus check when you were owed multiple stimulus checks in the spring for $1,200, never got it. Your reaction to a $600 stimulus check when there's enough funds to provide a $1,200 stimulus check. In fact, enough funds to provide a $5,000 stimulus check. I asked your reaction when you heard that they're not giving you FPUC retroactive for 30 weeks that you have been waiting for your FPUC retroactive, and that they were just forgetting about it and moving forward with a new round of FPUC. Your reaction was overwhelmingly rejecting of it. Hashtag Senate vote no got nearly 9,000 tweets within about 30 minutes after that broadcast on this channel. Then 10 minutes later, I refreshed it and it had gone up another 1,000. 1,000 tweets in 15 minutes between, in just seconds. 10,000 tweets within minutes after that broadcast. The tweets continue overnight and continue this morning. And you need to continue the tweets. We are not done. We are not over. The next 48 hours will be critical for hashtag Senate vote no and hashtag House vote no. Let me explain where we are and what's going on procedurally as we sit here today on a Thursday morning. As you know, this is live. If you're tuning in at the moment of watching this when it debuts, this is a live broadcast. After it's live, it will be taped, so you will be watching it also taped. But at the time of this live broadcast, there is no deal. No deal. I'll say it again. No deal. There's no agreement on a stimulus check amount. No agreement on a stimulus check amount. There's no agreement on a $600 stimulus check. No agreement on a $700 stimulus check. No agreement on any value of a stimulus check. No agreement on anything. There's no agreement on deal provisions. There's no agreement on anything. And this has been going on now over a week. So they are no closer to something formulated now than they were the day before. What's important to understand is that there are proposals, there's a lot of chatter, but proposals are not a law. You first start with a proposal, then you have an agreement. We're not at even an agreement. We don't have an agreement. We've had proposals for 2 weeks. We still don't even have an agreement. After an agreement, then they write the bill. They haven't even written the bill. They have not written the bill. And as Nancy Pelosi once said, we're legislators. We take a while to write a bill. Well, I don't think we have a time for writing a bill indefinitely. But why would you write a bill if you don't have an agreement? There's no agreement to write a bill about. Then after you write a bill, the first step is you introduce it to the House of Representatives. You first have an agreement, then you have a bill, then you introduce it to the House of Representatives. Now, in the past, I'm going to say this very clearly because I haven't said this before. This is the first time you're hearing this morning. In the past, we've had situations when there was no agreement. You know that. You know this very clearly. There are situations where Nancy had no agreement with Steve Mnuchin. So she just introduced something to the House to just sort of say she did something. She had no agreement, so she rushed into the House and just sort of put something into the House with no one agreeing to what she's putting in there. That was when the purple power really started first hitting up very strong. And she may do that again today. She may put something in the House that no one has agreed to. And it's like, what is this, Nancy? No one has agreed to this. What is this piece of paper you're putting in there? So she may do that. But ultimately, the plan is proposals, agreement, there's no agreement, then a bill, there's no bill still, then putting it to the House for a vote. House votes on it. The next day, the Senate would vote on it, and then the president could sign it the same day or veto it. So we're running out. They're running out of time. We're not running out of time. They're running out of time. Where is the timeline? Well, they were supposed to get an agreement done on Tuesday. Didn't happen. So I wonder what grassroots effort caused them to not have an agreement. You're looking at them. There's 600 of you in the room now, but I'm sure there'll be a few more in a few minutes. You're looking at them. You caused them not to have an agreement because their bill was crap. It was junk, and no one had the audacity to say it to their face. It's junk. It's pure grandstanding junk crap. They appeared on the Senate, on the on the congressional steps on Monday. The problem creators. I call them problem creators because all they do is cause problems. Tom and Jerry, which is really just Tom and Josh, two Republicans out of New York and New Jersey who don't represent the United States. They represent New York and New Jersey restaurants. That's what they represent. And they said, "Oh, we're so wonderful. Oh my God, we're so wonderful. Let me pat myself back. This is the best bill ever. Oh, Tom, you're wonderful. Oh, Jerry, you're wonderful. Oh, this is just so." I'm just like, stop it already. This is a crap bill. Have you woken up? I mean, I've seen more fake reality on reality TV, but this is just, I just want Needy Leaks to walk in and say, "Honey, you need to check yourself, honey, because this is just bad. This is just a fake reality." And they didn't get the fake reality check until we came along saying, "It's a junk bill. It's a junk bill. What are you doing patting yourself on the back with a junk bill?" And then they simply went back, further and further and further. So they're running out of time, and what they would have to do is put it to a vote in the House today, put it into the Senate for a vote tomorrow, and then hope they get some type of agreement. That's option number one. Option number two is a shutdown. Option number three is an extension. Well, Bernie Sanders last week and Josh Hawley said they're not giving them an extension. They said they're not giving them one more extension. Hopefully they stay on their position. They made it very loud and clear. It's not like it was off the record. It was on the congressional floor. Bernie said, "I'm not giving you another extension. I'm not giving you another extension. And the next time you come around, you're gonna pass Josh's bill and send out a stimulus check." Now, let me go to the shutdown, because I said in one of the videos, but I haven't said enough in the video. So I want to make it very clear. If there's a shutdown in the federal government for a week, you do not lose your benefit checks. So I'll make that very clear. If you're on SSI, SSDI, Social Security, Railroad benefits, Veterans benefits, Social Security, anything like that, you're not going to lose your check because the federal government shuts down for a week. There have been federal government shutdowns many, many times in the last few years. And how they work is they start with a one-day shutdown, then a few days, then a few weeks, then a few months. If this goes on for months, which it's not going to, if it goes on for months, then you would start to have concerns. We're not at months. We're at a few hours or a few days. So don't worry about anything lapsing. And so now we're back on what's going to go on. Well, there's a reason why there's no deal. There's a reason why there's no deal. The stimulus check amount is ridiculous. Hashtag Senate vote no. Hashtag House vote no. All one word. Hashtag Senate vote no all together. Hashtag House vote no. Don't change the order of the words. Don't reverse it. Exactly like that. Tweet them on social media. Who should you be tagging? You should be tagging the people who support you. E. Warren, at E. Warren, which is Elizabeth Warren, at Bernie Sanders, at Hawley, HAWLEYMO, at AOC. Then you should tag the people who are sort of on the fence, which are at U.S. Progressives, which are the progressive wing of the Democratic Party in the House, who said they would not support something unless there's a stimulus check in there, but they would not state how much is the stimulus check threshold for them. Then you want to tag the leader of that caucus. Then you want to get in on Mitch. And I'll explain to you what messaging you need to say to Mitch about. The messaging for Mitch is basically, actually, I'll just go out of order. So for Mitch, the messaging is the Georgia Senate races. Let me explain what is going on here. Wednesday. On a private conference call Wednesday, this is from Politico, McConnell said there's a need for stimulus checks right now and linked it to the special election, the Senate race in Georgia on January 5th. Quote, Kelly Loeffler and David Perdue are getting hammered, McConnell said on the telephone call, according to several sources. So someone listened in on Mitch. Someone listened in on Mitch on the phone, said, and then went to the press and said, Mitch said he needs to send out stimulus checks because he's worried he's going to lose the Senate races in Georgia. And remember, he has to, if he loses two, he loses the Senate. Losing one is not losing the Senate. Losing two means the GOP loses the Senate. That race is January 5th in Georgia, 2 Senate races. And the messaging for Mitch, for us, for Purple Power, is very clear. If you send out a darn stimulus check for $600, you can kiss your Senate race goodbye, Mitch. I mean, that's basically the message. You want to win in Georgia, Mitch? Well, you're going to lose your butt if you send us a measly $600 stimulus check. And we're going to make very clear for everyone in Georgia to vote against you for the measly, cheap, ridiculous, insulting, slap in the face, all your adjective, stimulus check, $600 measly offer. And that is the messaging you need to send to Mitch. He's scared. Well, you finish the sentence. He's scared, ... Yeah, he knows that he needs to send out stimulus or he's going to lose those seats. And so the people you want to tag with that is Mitch, his communications director, and his PR agent. And you've been doing a great job of this. Absolute great job of this. And so then the other people that you also want to tag are Mitt Romney. Apparently, Mitt Romney has been working for you. I'll believe that as far as I can throw it. But he's allegedly been asking both sides to agree to $1,200, and that they get nervous because they don't want to. They get scared because the bill's too big. But we would have to take out the state and local of $300 billion to put the stimulus check of $1,200 in there at $300 billion. Well, guess what? They did take out the state and local. They took out the state and local $300 billion. So what's the complaint about the stimulus check of $300 billion for $1,200 stimulus check? There's nothing left. There's no excuse. There is no excuse to do not go to $1,200. And they took out the thing that was holding up the number of the stimulus check, and it's as simple as that. Next, FPUC. This is what they try to do to you with the FPC. America going hungry. America, children going hungry. Crush the virus. This is what Miss Crush the Virus is trying to do if you're FPC. She's trying to not give you 30 weeks retroactive of FPUC. Just forget about it. I mean, just, it's 30 is just an overrated number. Just don't give people 30 weeks of FPUC. Let's just start giving you FPUC going forward because, whatever. I lost track of those weeks. July was sort of an overrated month. It's horrible. They don't want to give you FPUC retroactive, so they want to just start FPUC and go forward. They want to do no retro FPUC. It's insane. Now, there's other things I'm concerned about that I haven't had time to detail in the videos, which is, where's the eviction moratorium? Where's the mortgage forbearance? It's just not really clear if those are even in there either. The bottom line is, what is good in this bill? Extension of PUA and UI, which doesn't take much of anything to say. Extend PUA and UI. It doesn't cost them anything. Extend PUA and UI. Okay, that's about a 10-minute work effort to be put in. This was their reaction late yesterday about the situation. Elizabeth Warren said that there's no deal. Americans need more help, and that's where we're going to keep pushing. They need more help, and this is not enough, referring to a $600 stimulus check. Elizabeth Warren, Democrat out of Massachusetts. We're not there. My job is to keep pushing for more. That's Senator Elizabeth Warren, who is at E. Warren, then Senator Thune. Some of our folks who typically might, in circumstances like this, want to slow it down are not. I don't think that they're inclined to do so. That comment was made 2 days ago, so there's still no deal. I think they are inclined to slow this down. Biden's comment was just really out to left field. It's very important to get it done. It's a down payment. What? $600 is a down payment. What's $600 a down payment for, Joe? I don't understand that. What's a down payment for it? I just don't understand the language of that. The bill doesn't say it's $600 as a down payment for a $5,000 stimulus check. It's not like it's saying we're going to give you $600 now and the remainder of the $5,000 is coming in January as the remainder of the down payment. No, it just I don't like people who make up words like that. There is no down payment of $600. It's not a down payment for the remainder of the stimulus check. You're owed a stimulus check in let's rant for a second, shall we? You're owed a stimulus check in April, May, June, and then you didn't get one in July, August, September, October, November. Okay, so we're gonna give you one stimulus check for $600 as down payment. You owe us like 7 stimulus checks. So is it a down payment for the 7 stimulus checks going in the past? Is a stimulus down payment for the stimulus checks going forward? It can't be a down payment for anything because we have no law that says you're going to give us all these stimulus checks. There's no law that says this is a down payment for outstanding stimulus checks. Let's go to FPUC. We're owed 30 weeks of FPUC. There's no law that says we have to get 30 weeks of FPUC. No one in Congress has written into a law, we will pay you the 30 weeks of FPUC retroactive. So no one's saying, okay, here is, a little bit of FPUC. It's a down payment for the remainder of the FPUC coming up. It's not a down payment for crap. Stop with these fake narratives. If you wanted to use a word, but that is not a down payment for anything. Steny Hoyer, Democrat MS out of Maryland, House Majority Leader, said, why is this taking so long? Because they're procrastinating. We need to pretend just one more day and get a better deal. No, Steny, there is no deal. That's why it's procrastinating. Senator Mitch McConnell said that there is no deal. We're getting there. That was 2 days ago. We're getting there. Mitch is just getting there, like 5 weeks from now. More about Mitch in a second. And then Chuck Schumer, Mr. Positivity, very negative. It's not a done deal. Chuck's basically saying there's no done deal. Bernie Sanders, we cannot go home unless there's strong unemployment benefits plus $1,200 for adults, $500 for kid, and every working family. And then Holly saying, this is a start, but it's not a stop. So where we are is you need to make it very clear to them throughout the day, and that's the reason I went live on this recording as opposed to tape, is that you need to make very clear to them, don't make a deal on this. This is a junk deal. No deal. No deal. Hashtag Senate vote no. Hashtag House vote no. What I want you to understand is 2 things, because I want you to stay in the same mindset. So we're all on the same point. Nancy may go write something that doesn't represent any deal. They may have no deal, and Nancy may go home and start writing and then put it to the House floor, and it may be junk. And then and the House may vote for it because the House are a bunch of flock of sheep. All they do is just follow whatever she says. The reason why Senate vote no was trending is because we're preparing. What can Nancy write? Nancy can write anything. Nancy can literally write, we'll give you $100 a week and we'll never pay you FPUC retro. She can just write anything she wants to write. And her flock of sheep just seem to roll over all the time in the House. Now, if she writes something in the House, it's not law. That's why I did Senate vote no as the original hashtag, because we need to block it once it runs in the Senate. Whatever Nancy's craziness writes in the House, we need to block it in the Senate. Now, the reason why I added House vote no is because there's now indication that the House members may ultimately block Nancy because or anyone else, because the House members, including the progressives, are not happy that there was no stimulus check, and they may not be happy about anything else. They've really been, as you know, on the level of spinelessness, the House members have been completely spineless since the summer. That the senators have really shown real, good gusto in the last week or two. You got to really praise these senators. They're stepping up and they're really showing a gusto to block it. Remember, whatever passes in this, whatever Nancy does in the House, who cares? Whatever passes in the House, who cares? Whatever is sent from the House to the Senate, who cares? So you don't need to be sending me 55 DMs because I'm crying. Nancy wrote this horrible thing, and Nancy wrote this. She's just going to do it. I'm just preparing you. She's going to write something crazy because she's. It's all the hairspray. So I don't want you to react or get emotional to anything crazy Nancy Pelosi does. Wacko Nancy. Uh, Anything crazy her bill does. And with that, I want you to stay on point. Now, how about everything else? I want to give you some state stimulus coverage for a second. State stimulus, what I want to start with state stimulus is I knew when I was going to cover the state stimulus checks, which came after the coverage in this channel over the last 2 weeks of state rent stimulus and state utility stimulus and state food stimulus, that some viewers would ultimately only hear about the stimulus check and just sort of not want to hear anything else. Don't do that. Don't do that. So remember, state stimulus checks are very, very small. They're very, very small. They're not in many states. And they're not something to really get excited about. $200, $300, $150, $400. In some cases, yeah. In some cases, they're $2,000. In some cases, it's $1,200. But I don't want you to get excited about that because there is 15, 10,000, 15,000, 7,000, 5,000, 4,000, $3,000 that you can get from your city, county, and state that you should be focusing on first. I want you to put your efforts on getting the rent stimulus first, then the utility stimulus, and then the third focus of you should be the state stimulus. Why? Because the state stimulus is automatic generally. If you qualify for it, you'll get it. The rent stimulus, I want you to get. And the reason why I'm making this very clear, if you're new to this channel in the last few days, is the rent stimulus is not going to be around forever. It's not going to be around forever. It's being used up left and right. And I don't want you to miss out on thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars because you are waiting for an elusive potential $200 check to come from your state of Kentucky or something like that. Kentucky, viewers are getting rent in Kentucky. Utilities, viewers are getting utilities in Kentucky. The state of Kentucky, not paying rent. The cities of Kentucky not paying rent. The nonprofits of Kentucky paying rent. The utility companies in Kentucky paying rent. The state of Kentucky sending you sending a stimulus check, not sending a stimulus check. So I don't want you to sit around waiting for Mitch to send you, as a resident of Kentucky, a $200 stimulus check when the nonprofits are paying thousands of dollars for the rent in the state. I want you to go after the biggest money first and not wait around for the smallest amount of money thereafter. Next, what I want you to understand is that whatever you're told by one agency is not the same for every other agency. I got a comment this morning where someone called up a state department of housing, and the state department of housing said one thing. And I'm like, okay. And so the person took the State Department's comment as the situation of every city, every county in the entire state, whether it's with a nonprofit or not a nonprofit. Said, I'm never going to get anything in my state because one person on the phone told me this. I make it very clear. If some department doesn't pay it, go to the next department. If the next department doesn't pay it, go to the next department. And ultimately, if there's no department, then go to the nonprofits. That's the example of Kentucky. Kentucky, if you call up your state housing authority in Kentucky, they're going to say there's no rent stimulus. If you call up City of Louisiana Housing Authority, they're going to say there's no rent stimulus. They're going to say there's just nothing. If you call up Community Action in Kentucky, Community Action has been paying utilities for viewers this channel. If you call up, I'm using Kentucky as an example. This is not a Kentucky recording. If you call up Community Ministries, they're paying rent in Kentucky. So I want you to chase the rent first. Go after the rent first. Rent is being paid in Texas by St. Mary Magdalene. It's being paid in Kentucky by Common Community Ministries. It's being paid in New Jersey by United Way. It's being paid in Ohio by Community Action. Viewers have gotten rent in Massachusetts from Interfaith Social Services. They've gotten rent paid in Phoenix from TCTC. They've gotten upwards of $10,000 of rent in Delaware from the state, in New Jersey from United Way, Alabama from calling 211. In Mississippi, they've gotten rent paid from Mercy House and also from Home Saver and also from Salvation Army and also from MSHDA Eviction Diversion. So, I mean, for example, when we're hearing Mississippi, when we see Mississippi, not 1, 2, 3, but 4 organizations paying rent in Mississippi, you don't want to call up the state housing authority in Mississippi and get a no and then sort of stop. Well, I called up the State Housing Authority in Mississippi, and they said there's no rent in Mississippi. Well, there's 4 organizations that are paying rent to viewers of this channel. Go to the next step. Go to the next step. You can get it. You can get it. I'm your motivator. Go get it. Indiana, you're getting people have gotten rent from 211 and IndianaHousingNow.org. They've gotten utilities from Community Action. They've gotten rent from United Way in Georgia, Nebraska, and Pennsylvania. They've gotten rent from Salvation Army in Michigan. In Arizona, they got rent paid from New Leaf. Someone on early mornings at LALATE in the comments said, I heard him saying someone was getting paid rent in Arizona. I don't remember what it is. If you miss anything I say in a recording, I generally repeat this on Purple Afternoons, which is taped, and Purple Power Live every day. And I'm repeating it right now. El Paso, Project Bravo's had paid rent. Delaware, 211 paid rent. Texas paid 211 paid rent. Crossroads in Rhode Island, Crossroads paid rent, and in Rhode Island, the Housing Authority paid rent. The rent is big money, and that's why I want you to focus on it. Mississippi just said it. If you missed anything I said or I talked too fast, because I always talk too fast, sorry about that. I want you to just, when the video is done, you can just pull it back and pull the toggle at the bottom of the screen, just pull it back, and you can replay the video. Fort Bend County in Texas is paying rent. Oh, wow. Thank you. Fort Bend County in Texas is paying rent. Has anyone else gotten any rent success that I should report for other viewers? Fort Bend County in Texas. Anyone else had success in any of the other counties? California getting nothing for the state. That's correct. They're getting nothing for the state, but they're getting stuff from the counties, cities, and privates across the board. If you got something from San Bernardino County. Newman, Georgia. I don't know about Newman, Georgia. I heard that someone wants to return the money for CARES Act from the Treasury Department. There's a lot. There's a way for me to react to certain things, and ultimately I always get hammered if I however react. People always send me DMs say, I heard. I'm like, well, why are you listening to other people? Every time someone sends me a DM and says, I heard, it's always wrong. Every time I hear someone sends me a message, it starts with, did you hear? Well, it's always wrong. I heard you have to take a vaccine to get the stimulus check. No, that's wrong. I heard, it's just, okay, we just stop this like bad gossiping. Seriously, as Cameron just said, seriously. Catholic Charities. So the nationals that are paying rent in a lot of, Kern County Catholic Charities pays utilities. Yes. I've had a lot of wonderful reports about Catholic charities in California. So let me recap the national charities that are paying rent in a lot of places. Catholic Charities, St. Vincent de Paul, Community Action, United Way, Salvation Army. Those have been paying rent and utilities and food for viewers in a lot of different locations. Finally, for toys, if your children are 16 years or younger, it's being paid in toys are being provided in some cases by United Way, Salvation Army, and Toys for Tots. Meantime, states are doing other stuff. They're doing extended weeks of UI benefits in the case of Virginia, Illinois, and then some are doing stuff in other places like apparently New Jersey and New York. If you're just joining the room, because now we're at 1,500 viewers and we started at 500, let me give you a recap of where we are today. Where we are today is really no change since last night. But the difference is that last night, for the first time ever, this channel was trending on Twitter. It was trending on Twitter because during an afternoon's broadcast, I told viewers to go on Twitter and start to try to get trending the hashtag campaign, hashtag Senate Vote No. Hashtag Senate Vote No all together. And then I said try also hashtag House Vote No. The reason why I said that was because viewers summarily rejected the offer from the proposals that manifested themselves over the last 2 days. Those offers included an offer, not a deal, an offer. $600 stimulus check ridiculous. FPUC going forward, not retroactive, just forgetting about 30 weeks of retroactive FPUC, and no indication about eviction moratorium or mortgage forbearance whatsoever. Viewers were just irate with it, and they got the message out very loud and clear. 10,000, 12,000, 13,000, 15,000 tweets on Twitter sending the message very loud and clear. I want you to continue that messaging today, because as you sit here today, there is no deal. As we sit here today, these are the steps they have to go through. They first have proposals, then they have to have a deal, then they have to have a bill written, then they have to introduce the bill to a vote, then it has to go to the House, then it goes to the Senate, and then it goes to the president. They're not even past step one yet. All they still have are just proposals, and no one has even reached an agreement on the proposals. They're no different than they were 2 weeks ago. All they're doing is better press games earlier in the week. The prom creators had that press junket where they appeared in front of Capitol Hill and then made it look like there was an agreement. That's the trick that they're going to do, that they do. They make you think that there was a deal and just sort of roll over. There was no deal. And I made it very clear, there is no deal. Stop having them make you think there's a deal. And now I read in this recording, Republicans, Democrats, all across the board saying there's no deal. There's still no deal. And the reason why there is no deal is because of you. Because you got up and said, there's no deal. Who's agreeing to this crap bill? And we told them to their face, it's a crap bill. Don't pat yourself on the back. The problem creators were patting themselves on the back, saying, this is so wonderful, we're so great. It's a crap bill. And then you got the messaging out loud and clear, $1,200 or shut it down. I indicated as well in this video that a shutdown of the federal government for a day, a week, 2 weeks does not stop your unemployment benefits, does not stop your SSI or SSDI, does not stop your veterans checks, does not stop anything, does not stop anything for you getting paid for anything else. It's only the case of things that go on for months, 2 months. This is not going on for months, 2 months. And Mitch McConnell, meantime, has now indicated privately in conversations that he's sending out a stimulus check because he's worried he's going to lose the 2 Senate seats in Georgia. And that the messaging you need to specifically provide to Mitch is send out a $600 stimulus check. Your chances of winning those Senate seats are toast. The toast is toasting, and I'm referring to your chances of those Senate seats if you dare send out a $600 stimulus check. And so what's important to understand is there is no bill, there is no agreement there. And Nancy, finally, the last thing that I have to always explain, because it's Nancy. Nancy may go around all this and just write something and put it into the House. Understand, unless you hear someone say there was an agreement, it's just Nancy doing her own thing. Nothing to worry about, nothing to be concerned about. That's just what she does. And with that, thank you for joining me for a special morning's broadcast here on the West Coast. Go on Twitter and continue the hashtag campaign. Retweet the videos, retweet images, retweet memes. Hashtag Senate vote no. Hashtag House vote no. Make it very loud and clear. Use your words to describe the bill. Let's end with you on the screen using some of the words that you used yesterday in reaction to $600 as a stimulus check. What were the words so that other viewers are inspired for their social media campaign? Dear no, said one person. What words? Farce. It's a farce. We're asinine. We're also simulcast in Instagram today as well. Hashtag no way, rouse. What else would you use to describe? Slap in the face, says Terry. Great one. It's a setup. Setup, says someone. A joke, disgusting. What other words would you use? Livid. Mitch slapped, morons. Describe what's bad. Use your reaction to the bill. Horrible, evil, degrading. I love that, Charlotte. That's wonderful. Stupid. It is stupid. I don't know what that word was. Ashamed. It's minuscule. It's minuscule. It's pitiful. It's disgusting. It's infuriating. It's a joke, says someone in the Instagram group. It is a joke. It is a joke. It's an insult, says Anna Louisa. It's degrading, says someone else. Atrocious, says Sienna. They need to treat us like a business. That's very well said. They don't treat businesses with disrespect. They treat you with disrespect. Crummy, sad, a nothing burger. I love that. Spineless, crazy, sickening. Um, Degrading, says Donna. Un-American. I love that. Inhumane. What I miss. If you're just tuning in, you can replay this broadcast. It'll be taped within a few minutes. Grinch. Purposely done. Idiotic. Despicable. Downright disgraceful. Heartless. No empathy. Ridiculous, says the Instagram room. Um, but someone said a word in Spanish, which I can't say on camera. No empathy. Thank you for your incredible words this morning. Go on social media and share those words. Go on social media right now on Twitter, hashtag Senate Vote No all together, and start it and let them hear your reaction. And I'll see you at 12 noon for holidays, LA. As always, stay informed, stay smiling, save LA for more.